Orange Conference, what's up? Day 2, we in here. How y'all feeling? Oh, that's so good. Y'all, we're gonna talk a little bit about innovation, and so I need to take you on a journey with me. I need you to imagine that you're on vacation with your family, and you guys have pulled over and you're in one of those gift shops, right? And your parents, maybe they're over there purchasing some new snacks, or maybe they are paying for the gas, but you find yourself standing at one of those racks, you know what I mean? Where you're looking across row after alphabetical row, looking for your name on one of those little shot glasses, keychains. And you're looking, and then you find your name. And since we're imagining, we're just gonna go ahead and imagine that everybody finds their name. No one's going home with the generic Orlando keychain. No. We find our names, whether your name is Leslie or Ashley or Caleb or Joshua, or whether your name is Brittany with one T. We got Brittany's with one T in the room? Hey, I heard you. See, she needs her shot glass, keychain, right? Or whether your name is Daquan or Shamika, right? We see your shot glass, keychain. And here is the thing, we all know the feeling that we get when we see our names in unlikely places. It kind of sparks something in us. It says, hey, I see you. I recognize you. I recognize what you have to offer the world. And isn't it crazy how seeing your name in an unlikely place makes you feel a little bit celebrated? It makes you feel a little bit like, man, here I am. Because here's the thing, I need you to take that feeling. I need you to multiply it times 1,000. I need you to throw some steroids on it, multiply it times infinity again, and that is the feeling that brands who understand kids and teenagers today are offering them daily. Whether it's Nike, who says, come to our website, you can customize your own shoe. It's gonna be fantastic, and if we like it, we might even launch your career as a designer. You can slap your name on it, it's gonna be awesome. Or whether it's brands like Function of Beauty, who actually lets you take a quiz and design your own specific shampoo just for your hair. You get to put your name on it and they ship it to your house. Or whether it's companies and brands like Spotify or TikTok who are curating a playlist just for you based off the songs you've listened to in the last 30 days. Here, you get to discover this weekly. Or TikTok and a whole entire For You page. Brands who understand kids and teenagers. Get this, they've figured out the power of personalization and participation. And that's what we're calling innovation today. You see, here's the thing. Whenever a brand gives a kid or a teenager a toolbar that says, hey, create something new, publish it, put it out in the world, or a search bar that says, ask me any question that you have, I will find an answer for you and you can do something with that answer, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's accurate or inaccurate. Or whenever they hand them a menu that says, here are tons of options, just navigate your way through life. You know what brands are doing when they do that? They're basically saying to kids and teenagers, hey, I trust you. I see you. You have something to offer. This is incredible. And you feel that as a kid or a teenager, but it all came together and made me wonder this. What if brands and companies are better at seeing the image of God in kids and teenagers than we as a church are? What if? And we call it innovation. Because that's what's happening. That's what's happening. They affirm a kid's sense of identity and purpose and belonging when they invite them to participate and co-create. So why do we miss this as the church, as the people who work with these kids and teenagers? Well, maybe we're prone to missing it because we fall into the trap of thinking that change and innovation are the same thing. Right? Like our churches have changed a lot over the last several years, but have we innovated? You see, change is inevitable. We know that. Innovation isn't. There's two things that we maybe forget about innovation. One of them is this, that innovation is inconvenient. It really is inconvenient, but if you think about some of our organizations, some of our churches, some of our missions, aren't we a little bit obsessed with convenience? Like, don't we kind of idolize when it runs perfectly like a well-oiled machine? There's no new thing that's gonna get in the way of our perfectly laid out plan. See, innovation is inconvenient because, if it's inconvenient to invite that 7th grader who's really good at anime to a design meeting so they can speak into the series artwork, well, the likelihood of us actually seeing that 7th grader who's really good at drawing anime and actually giving them the chance, because it's inconvenient to invite them to the meeting, to get them to draw the right thing, and then you gotta scan the sketches, and now it's all pixelated, and it's kind of weird. Do adults even understand anime? Like, we don't give them that opportunity because it's inconvenient. The second thing we tend to forget is that innovation takes trust. It takes trust because it takes risk. And if I'm gonna innovate something with you and you're gonna innovate something with me, maybe we need to be in a trusting relationship in order for us to innovate something together. We have to build a relationship strong enough that it can withstand the off chance that maybe what we just tried doesn't quite work out, but it's okay, we're gonna keep going. You see, it takes trust, and I don't know if you've heard some of the latest research about Gen Z and how they feel about companies and brands and places like us. Actually, our friends over at Springtide Research recently released a poll, and they talked to teenagers from 13 and young adults, 13 to 25, and asked them kind of the status of how they feel about trusting organizations and institutions. You should definitely look up the research, it's fantastic, but here's what they found out. Young people's trust in institutions is going from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being complete trust, 1 being no trust at all. No one on this list made it over 5.4. They don't trust nonprofit organizations, banks, the medical system, public schools, organized religion got a 4.9. Media, Congress, big business, the presidency, at least we beat the politicians, right? At least we beat the politicians. You see, we don't have trust with a generation, and we idolize convenience. So maybe the most rebellious and innovative thing that we can do as a church is break up with convenience in order to trust a generation who doesn't yet trust us. Maybe we can learn a thing or two from brands who kids and teenagers do trust, because they hand them tools. When you hand a kid or a teenager a tool, it says this: I trust that you can do something without me. I think about kindergartners showing up to the first day of school, or to the days right before the first day of school, and the teacher actually hands a kindergartner a list of equipment you have to come back with. Hey, don't come back without crayons and a scissors, because you need to learn these skills, right? I trust that you can do this without me. When they show up to sports teams, they are handed a list of equipment, tools, things that they have to come back and use. We literally enroll them into performing arts schools, give 12-year-old multi-$1,000 instruments because we trust that they can do something with it. And then they show up to our churches and we say, can you help us straighten the chairs? Maybe. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next one. When we offer them a menu, when you give a kid or a teenager a menu, you give them options, and it says that I trust you to make decisions. We ask them, which sport do you want to play? We ask, which instrument do you want to do? Do you want to go to online school or in-person school? You have all of these options. And I know I can hear us now saying, hey, my budget isn't big enough for me to be everything to every kid, to give every option on every menu. That's not what I'm talking about. I actually call this the sushi spaghetti paradox. It's that if my life goes according to plan, I will never be sitting in a restaurant that claims to specialize both in sushi and spaghetti at the same time. I don't want it. I don't believe that you're an expert at both of those things, all right? But what if we looked at our communities like that? Instead of our churches trying to offer sushi and spaghetti, what if we found other churches that are really good at something over here? Hey, y'all are great at community gardens. You can feed this neighborhood. And you guys are great at finances. You can help our people do their taxes. And we held hands across our entire community. What would happen if we stopped trying to be everything to everyone and joined together to do that? When you give a kid or teenager options, it says, I trust you to make decisions. Let's go to the next one. Reps. When you give a kid or a teenager reps, it says, I trust that you are worth investing in patiently. You know what a rep is? It's any opportunity that you give someone before they're quite ready. Right? It's the opportunity to hone a skill before they have the skill completely finalized. When we give a kid or a teenager a rep, do you know what that does? And I'm gonna stir the pot a little bit with this next one, so I'm just gonna say it and throw it out there and we're gonna keep it moving, all right? Can we just be honest that some people get more reps than others? All right, we're gonna keep it moving. And so the next one is this. Listen, what if we believed that harnessing potential was better than hoarding platforms? What if we really believed that? What if we gave every kid reps? Because that's what you're watching right now. This is the biggest rep of my life. And I'm like, why am I on this stage? And so I just want to take a second and acknowledge the people who gave me reps, who saw the light in me and said, hey, go do something with this. I trust the image of God in you. I mean, it was my parents who pastored a church and who let me, when I got my little guitar, play these really awkward worship songs in our really gospel church where everybody sat quietly and was like, that's all right, baby, keep on playing. And I'm like, and Jesus, y'all, they gave me reps, which led to me getting reps at a place called Wind-Shaped Camps where I have to thank Lauren Bennett. She saw me with that guitar and she said, hey, you wanna come lead worship for hundreds of kids and teenagers? Hey, you wanna lead a team? Eventually that turned into an internship, an apprenticeship, and I got to lead hundreds of kids and teenagers and adults and all kinds of people, which eventually turned into a rep at a place called Life Church where I have to thank Kendra Golden for seeing a light in me that I was like, I don't know, and she let me lead creative teams. And I have to thank Crystal Chang, Reggie Joyner, and Kristen Ivy. Because I'm here right now and I don't know why, but they're giving me this rep. Thank you guys. They're giving me this rep. See, innovation doesn't have to be complicated. I'm gonna say it in a way that maybe rhymes a little bit too much, but then I'll break it down. You see, what if innovation is the new invitation to a skeptical generation's participation in the cultivation for their formation into everything in God's imagination? I mean, what if this is all about inviting a generation to participate in how they're gonna grow and evolve into the image of God? What if innovation in the church is less about some new, shiny, futuristic thing and more about getting back to the old idea that God always had in mind from the beginning of time, an ancient idea, a forever idea, that I will affirm the light in every person. I will see the image of God in every kid and every teenager.